What's up guys, Jed here from Locked In Off-Road, and in this episode we're going to be installing the Renorgy DC to DC charger with Mppt solar into the Patrol. So let's get into that now.
Bada bing, bada boom, I'ma get it to the room. And I'm running out fast, I'ma get it out soon. Now I'm pumping that gas, y'all smoking on the fumes.
So guys, this is the Renorgy DC to DC charger. This is the 50 amp version. So we'll have 50 amps of charge, theoretically. This is what comes in the box. You got instruction manual, stickers, that. We got the charging unit itself. This I believe is for the ignition wire if you have a smart isolator. We got some crimp terminals and the temperature sensor wire, I believe that is. And then we got a communication cable. So let's get this into the car. So onto this side we have the positive out, that will go to the battery, and then we have the negative, so that'll go either to the battery or you can ground that to your cab or chassis. And on this side we have the ignition battery alternator. Well, the ignition's this one, that's the lead I was talking about earlier. Then we've got this one, this will go to the alternator of the car and charge off that. And this one is your solar panel. So that'll go to the solar. What I've got to do now is modify the old cabling to suit the new stuff. This is too small, so I'll be stepping up to these. They came in the packet of the Renorgy, so I'll be soldering them on the end of that with a bit of heat shrink. Let's go. So that'll be going on there like that. Get the soldering gun out. Put this on. So I've now put the new terminal on. This will go from the outside of the DC-DC charger down to the 50 amp fuse, I should say, to the 50 amp fuse, and this will connect to the battery. I'm just setting up the solar plug-in. I'm going to put a Anderson plug on the end of these 50 amp wires. So I've just got to put terminals on each end. I'll go straight negative to the negative on the controller and the positive over here for the solar input. So now I'm just fixing the controller to the top of my battery box. Alright guys, so I've made the wire up to the solar. This will go to the solar charger that I've now installed in the car, and this will get connected to an Anderson plug. But what I'm going to do, because I'll have one permanently on the roof, and then I'll also have my solar blanket that I'll install, so I'll make it a double adapter by putting this on and this on one end. So basically, this will go on there like that. I'm going to fill this up with solder and then push it in. I'm not crimping it. This is the best way to do it in my opinion, so that's what we're going to do. Now I'm going to add some heat shrink over the back, just to give it a bit better of a everything in general, just like that. These go into there. You got your positive, make sure it goes in the positive, and you got your negative. I'll have to do mine at the same time. There's the final product. Now I have 2 Anderson plugs on the end. This will go onto the charger, the Mppt charger that I have, the Renorgy one. And these will get mounted onto the side in my car. That way I can plug the one in permanently and then my solar blanket when I'm out camping. So it's actually been a couple of weeks since the last clip you've seen, and this has all been installed. So we'll just have a look at it. I've had this installed for about 3 weeks now. So I'll just go over how everything connects up. This one here is to the battery, like the starter battery or the alternator. In my case, it's the starter battery. You then have the out here, which goes down and is fused and then connects to the AGM battery I've got from Kick-Ass into the battery box. You then have your negative terminal. That, on my case, goes into the battery and connects to the negative on the battery. Just here, this is the temperature sensor. So it protects the battery from charging if it's too cold or too hot. It's not going to get too cold in North Queensland, I don't think. This input here is the solar input. So that goes here, the negative's over this side. And then here you can see I've got my permanent solar hooked up into that. I've still got to fix it to the side of the car here to keep it a bit safer than dangling around. And at the moment the sun's out and you can see it's charging 13.7 volts into the battery. You have on the top here, you have your indicators. This is the type of battery which changes in here. There's a little area just here where you can change which type, if you have lithium ion, AGM, flooded, etc. So that's easy to change. That's a updated one to the old style. It used to be a little pin you used to have to press. Then your other indicator here, this one is blinking, so that means you've got solar coming in. And on this one, it's also can charge the starter battery from the solar. So you have this indication here. When it's blinking, that's saying it's charging the starter battery, trickle charging it, so it keeps it charged and you never have to worry about a flat battery again. So another cool little feature that the Renorgy has, it has this communications input, which is basically an Ethernet cable input, and you can get this little device here called a BT2 by Renorgy. It's a Bluetooth module, so it Bluetooths to your phone, so you can get all the information it can put out from the charger. You can also plug this into their batteries as well, and you can get the readout of what's going on. So I can't really see that well. There we go. So you can see the volts coming in, the amount of amps and everything like that on it, the temperature of the charger, the temperature of the battery, how many kilowatts you've generated, the watts. So yeah, that was I got that pretty cheap off eBay, same place I bought this from. That's about it. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Comment down below if you have any questions about the install or the charger itself. Also, check out the link in the description. That's my merch and everything like that. You can get these shirts. I've still got stickers for sale. And remember, stay locked in. Pew pew. Pew pew.